Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter connectors. Now, this is part number 9. So, till now, we have already done 8 parts of connectors. So, let us have a look over what we are going to discuss in this session. In the following lecture, or in this lecture, we are going to discuss, we will cover the following topics. Now, as you know well, that in our earlier session, we started discussing cause and effect denoting conjunctions. In this session, we are going to discuss those cause and effect denoting conjunctions as well. In that session, we have discussed the word because. In this session, we are going to discuss since and as. Okay, so these both of these are cause denoting conjunctions. Okay, cause denoting conjunctions. Moreover, in this session, we are going to discuss cause denoting prepositions. Okay, so in our last session, we discussed cause denoting conjunctions. Two of them we are going to discuss in this session, and also we are going to discuss cause denoting prepositions and types of cause denoting prepositions. Okay, so first of all, we'll discuss since, and since is cause denoting conjunction, or it is a type of cause denoting conjunction. Okay, cause denoting conjunction. So let us elaborate this. First of all, we'll see the meaning of since. Since is used as a cause denoting conjunction to introduce a reason or explanation for something. So, as we did with because also showed us the reason. So, here this since also introduced the reason. It is similar to because, but it is often used in situations where the reason is already understood. Okay, so because only tells us the reason, but since is clearly indicated over there or is used over there where the reason is implied or already understood by the listener or the reader, or when the reason relates to a past event that continues to have relevance in present as well. Since can provide a more subtle or less direct way of explaining a cause compared to because. Okay, so this serves as the less direct way, or it explains it in a less direct way as compared to that of because. To introduce, now we'll discuss the uses of since. To introduce a reason or cause. Since is used to connect two clauses where the clause introduced by since explains the reason for the main clause. Okay. Uh, since it was raining, we cancelled the picnic. So as you can see that it is reason for the cancellation of the picnic, and this reason has been shown by the conjunction since, or you can say the since is introducing this clause which contains the reason. So this is just like because. To link past events with present situations, it often connects a past action or a state to a present condition, emphasizing the continuity from the past to present. Since we moved to the city, we have met many new people. Okay, so since we moved to the city, it means because we moved to the city or we have moved to the city, we have met many people. In formal or academic writing, since is frequently used in more formal contexts, like academic writing, to introduce a cause or reason. For example, since the company adopted new policies, employee productivity has increased. So, what is the reason behind employees' productivity increase or increment? It is just because the company adopted new policies. So, the since is introducing this clause, which is showing us the reason for this increment of productivity. Okay, now when the reason is implicit or obvious, now if some reason is there which is obvious, it means yes, this is the actual reason. So just to show that, we use since. It is often used when the reason is assumed to be known or is not the primary focus of the sentence. Okay, so this is very very simple. You can see it over here. Whenever we show any reason, we can use that reason clause can be shown by the conjunction because. Also, it can be shown with the help of the word since. So, since and because, they both play the same role, or they both can be used in substitution to each other. Now, here it is often used when the reason is assumed to be known or is not the primary focus of the sentence. Okay. Example: since you are here, you can help me with this task. So, this is just implied, or actually the person who is there or who is the reason for that, or the condition which is the reason for that, is actually because you are here. So since you are here, we can establish it just to show the reason. Now, after that, we'll have the fifth one, that is to introduce justifications and explanations. Now, as we did in the conjunction because was also used to justify the statement or justify the action or the decision. Here as well, to introduce this justification or explanation, we can use the word since, that is the conjunction. Since can be used to provide justifications for decisions or actions. So, this is the same task which since is doing as that of because. Example, since the data was inconclusive, we decided to conduct further research. Now let us move to the next one. In response to why questions, as I told you that why questions can be replied with the word because, since can also be the same word which can be used to show or to reply to these why questions. Okay. Now, like because, since can it can be used to answer questions about the reason for something. For example, why are you studying so hard? Since I have an exam tomorrow, I need to prepare. So, what is the reason behind your studying so hard? Is that I have an exam tomorrow and I need to prepare for that. So, this is the simple reason that can be shown with this word since. You can show the reason for some work that has been going on or that has occurred. Okay, so you are simply showing the cause for the effect, okay, with the help of the word since. To indicate a cause with time implications, since has a temporal aspect. Temporal aspect means time related aspect, and is often used where the cause is related to a past event. It means if we talk about any past event, we can use the since to show this temporal aspect, event that has ongoing implications. Since starting her new diet, she has felt much healthier. Okay, it means from the time she had started new dieting, or this new diet, sorry, not new dieting, this is new diet, she has felt much healthier. The general structure, now we'll discuss the structure of since. Now, first of all, we have effect clause, then since, and then clause. Now, it can be reversed as well. For example, we can first have since, then clause, okay, and after that we have effect clause. So this can happen. Okay, now effect clause, this is the part of the sentence that describes the outcome, effect, or the situation that is being explained or justified. It can often stand alone as a complete sentence. Since this conjunction is used to introduce the reason or cause for the effect mentioned in the first part of the sentence. Cause clause, this clause follows since and provides the reason or cause for the effect. It contains its own subject and verb. It often refers to an action or a state that is started in the past and continues into the present. Okay, so cause clause, it means this is the reason and this is introduced by since, and this shows that something which is going to happen or which has happened is just because of this past event. Okay, so basically since is used to show that event that has been occurred in past. Okay, now one more thing which is very important about since and because, you can see the difference between these two. Since shows the reason only which has happened in the past or which you can see in the past, but because shows the reason of future as well, or they can show the reason of future as well. Okay, now if I say that since I have left this company, I have left this company, since I have left this company, I don't want to meet my friends or ex-colleagues. Okay, now I can also write because I have left this company, I don't want to meet my friends. But if I say I will not go to office tomorrow since I have to go out of station. Now, because this is something which is going to happen, so here in place of since we can write because. That will be suitable. Okay, that will be more suitable. Though you can write since as well, but because is more suitable. For example, the park is crowded since it is a holiday. The park is crowded is the effect clause describing the current situation. Since introduced the reason for this situation, it is a holiday is the cause clause explaining why the park is crowded. Alternatively, since can also start a sentence, particularly when emphasizing the cause or in response to a question. In such cases, the structure is since it is a holiday, the park is crowded. Here, the cause it is a holiday is emphasized by being placed at the beginning of the sentence. Now, here you can see that since it is a holiday, the park is crowded. So, the since it is a holiday is actually the reason that shows that why the park is crowded. Okay. Rules associated with since. Introducing a cause or reason. Since is used to establish a causal relationship where the clause following since provides the reason or explanation for the main clause. Example, since it was late, we decided to end the meeting. Okay, since it was late, so this is the reason. We decided to end the meeting, so this is the effect. This is the result of we got late. Structure since should be followed by a clause, which means it must have a subject and a verb. Okay, this is subject, and after that we have a verb. Correct. Now, since he was tired, he went to bed early. Okay, so this is the correct sentence. Here you can see that since and after that he was tired is the reason, and due to this he went to bed early. So this is the effect or the outcome. Okay, so we are beginning the sentence with since. Now, what can be the incorrect sentence? Since tired, he went to bed early. Now, since tired is just the verb, which is not correct over here. We need to have the entire statement clause or a statement structure, that is subject plus verb. Position in a sentence, since can be used at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. We postponed the trip since the weather was bad. We can also write since the weather was bad. Since the weather. Okay, we can also write the sentence like since the weather was bad. Was bad. We postponed the trip. Okay, we postponed the trip. Now let us move to the next one. Temporal and causal relationship. While since often indicates a cause or reason, it can also denote the passage of time. Ensure that its use as a casual conjunction is clear from the context. For example, since joining the team, she has improved her skills. Okay, since joining the team, it means from this time she has improved her skills. So this is also showing the temporal skills. Temporal aspect. It means from the time she has joined the team or she joined the team. Okay, now whenever it shows the temporal aspect, we have just a structure like since. After that we have two clauses, and in these two clauses we should follow a pattern of tenses. That in this we can only write past indefinite tense, that is subject plus verb second form. And in this clause, in the later on clause, we can only have the effect clause can be in present perfect tense, should be in present perfect tense only. Okay, so this pattern we have to follow, that is subject plus has or have plus verb third form. Okay, so this is also the pattern that we should follow if this since shows the temporal aspect. So just remember this, if this since shows temporal aspect, it means it shows the time situation or time foundation. We can make the sentence in two clauses. The first one that is followed by a since clause, or sorry, that follows since conjunction, it will be in past indefinite tense, and after that the following clause can be in present perfect tense only. As you can see over here, since joining the team, this is past indefinite, she has improved her skills. Responding to why question, since can be used to answer questions about the reason for something, especially when the reason is not a primary focus. Why didn't you attend the meeting? Since I was ill, I stayed home. Okay. Examples of since the weather was bad, we stayed indoors. So, because the weather was bad, we stayed indoors. He has been much happier since he changed jobs. Since we moved to the new office, now this you can see in the past indefinite, productivity has increased. So, this is present perfect. Since she has been very busy, she has been very busy since starting her new business or project. Since the results were inconclusive, we need to do more research. They decided to cancel the event since many people were unable to attend. Why are you wearing a jacket? Since it is cold outside, I did not want to go to get chilled. Why did you choose this university? Since it has a strong engineering program, it was my first choice. Now we have already discussed since, now we'll discuss connectors. So first connector we are going to discuss is as. Now, meaning of as used to as a cause denoting conjunction serves to introduce a reason or cause for something that occurs in the main clause. So here we are going to discuss as a conjunction, which shows us the reason. It is similar to because and since, but is often used in situations where the reason is presented as more incidental or taken as given. Introducing reasons or causes. So these are the uses of as which we are going to discuss right now. As is used to link a cause or reason with an effect or outcome in the main clause. For example, as it was raining, the match was postponed. So here you can see this reason, it was raining. Now this can be shown by the word since, by the word because. So these three can be substitutes to one another. Implying known or obvious reasons, often used when the reason is considered obvious or already known to the listener or reader. As you were absent yesterday, you missed the important announcement. So here we can use this as you were absent yesterday, you missed the important announcement. So this is the effect or this is the result for which the reason that you were absent. Formal or academic writing as is frequently used in more formal or academic context to introduce a reason. For example, as the study indicates, regular exercise can improve mental health. Okay, so this is indicated by study that regular exercise can improve mental health. Simultaneity of action and reason, as can imply that the action and the research and the reason for it occur simultaneously. For example, as he was reading the report, he realized the error. Comparatively less emphasis on reason compared to because, as often introduces a reason that is less emphasized, more of a background condition. For example, as I'm not feeling well, I'll stay home today. Answering why questions like because and since, as can be used to answer questions about reasons for actions or situations. Example, why are you studying so hard? Is I have an important exam coming up. I need to prepare. Okay, so this is actually the reason which has been shown by the word as. Less direct in proving justifications, providing justifications, as can be used to provide justifications or explanations in less direct manner. Though, if we have already discussed because and since, which show this in more direct manner. As the weather was unfavorable, the event was held indoors. The general structure is first we have effect clause, then as, then cause clause. Now we can also have another structure. First we can have the cause clause, first we can have the as, then cause clause, and after that we have effect clause. So this can also be the sequence. Effect clause, this is the part of the sentence describes the outcome, effect, or the situation that is being explained or justified. That means the result. It is the main clause of the sentence and can often stand alone as complete sentence. As this conjunction is used to introduce the reason or cause for the effect mentioned in the first part of the sentence. Cause clause, this clause follows as and provides the reason or cause for the effect. It contains its own subject and verb. For example, the game was postponed as it was raining. The game was postponed is the effect clause describing what happened, as introduces the reason for this outcome. It was raining is the cause clause explaining why the game was postponed. It means it shows the reason. Alternatively, as can also start a sentence. It can begin the sentence, particularly when emphasizing the cause or in response to a question. In such cases, the structure is: as it was raining, the game was postponed. Here, the cause it was raining is emphasized by being placed at the beginning of the sentence. So, as the reason for using this as in the beginning of the sentence, just to emphasize the reason. Rules associated with as, linking cause and effect. As is used to connect two clauses, where the clause introduced by as provides the reason or the cause for the main clause. For example, as it was raining, we stayed indoors. Structure: as is followed by a clause that contains a subject and a verb. Correct: as the weather was cold, he wore a jacket. Incorrect: as cold weather, he wore a jacket. So the correct sentence will be: as the weather was cold. It means we need a subject plus verb structure. Okay. Position in a sentence: as can be used at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. For example, we decided to leave early as the meeting was over. Now, subtlety in reasoning. Okay. Subtlety means with the keen point of view, or when something is thoroughly detected, as often implies the reason is either already known or less directly emphasized with because. As you are already here, we can start the meeting. Simultaneity of action and reason: it means both of them occur simultaneously. It means just one after one. As can suggest that the action and the reason occurs simultaneously. As the sun set, the temperature began to drop. Okay, so as the sun set, it means as soon as it happened, the temperature began to drop. So simultaneously means when sunset, this started happening. Answering why questions: as can be used to answer questions about the reason for something, especially when the reason is not the main focus. Example: why did you choose this method? So this is the question, and using why, which is asking you the reason for that, and you are answering that as it is more efficient, it saves us time. No direct replacement for because. While as and because can sometimes be used interchangeably, they are not always direct substitutes, as is often used when the cause is more of a background condition. As she had previous experience, he was sorry, as he had previous experience, he was selected for the role. Examples of as: introducing reasons or causes. As the road was blocked, we had to take a different route. She couldn't see the screen as the room was too bright. Explaining actions or decisions: as he was feeling unwell, he decided to stay home from work. So he was feeling unwell. As he was feeling unwell, this was the reason he decided to stay home from work. So this is the effect. I took an umbrella as it looked like it might rain. Answering why questions in a subtle way: why are you leaving early? As I have finished my work, there is no need to stay. Why did you choose this book? As it is written by my favorite author, I thought it would be interesting. Linking past to present situations: as she has lived in France, she speaks French fluently. So, this is linking the past events. We can show that these present effects are due to this situation. He is quite familiar with the process as he has done it several times before. Justifying or providing context. As it's your birthday, we decided to throw you a surprise party. The meeting was postponed as many attendees were unavailable. Okay. Now, this is the here we have already covered the connectors or the cause denoting conjunctions. Now, here we are going to begin with cause denoting prepositions. Okay. Now, meaning of cause denoting preposition: as a cause denoting preposition is a type of preposition that is used to indicate the cause, reason, or motive for an action or a state. Now, in a sentence where a preposition is required to show the cause for the action or the reason for the action, we use this preposition, that is cause denoting preposition. These prepositions are essential for constructing sentences that clearly explain why something happens or why a certain condition exists. So they simply clear us, they simply clarify, or they simply introduce those clauses which show or which explain why something happens or why a certain condition exists. They help in establishing a relationship between two ideas or events, particularly highlighting the causal connection. Okay. Now, type of cause denoting prepositions. First of all, we have because of, then due to, then owing to, and then on account of. So these all are types of cause denoting prepositions, and these are which we are going to discuss in our later sessions about all these conjunctions, that is because of, sorry, all these prepositions, that is because of, due to, owing to, on account of. One most important thing that I have told you about the difference between conjunction and preposition, so will be the difference between cause denoting conjunctions and prepositions. As we have seen, all the cause denoting conjunctions, they were followed by subject plus verb. Okay, so the entire structure of a sentence. But here, after preposition, we can have the concept like, here we will not have the subject plus verb, here we'll have the subject, but only the noun phrase. Okay, noun or the noun phrase. Okay, and after this, now it is noun phrase. Okay, or the pronoun in objective case, pronoun in objective case, whereas it is objective case. For example, I is the nominative case and me is the objective case. And after conjunction, we can have the entire subject plus verb agreement structure. It means here we'll have pronoun uh, in nominative case. Also, nominative case is I. Okay, to which the objective case is me. Okay, or will have the noun but not the noun phrase. Okay, so here we'll have the noun plus verb structure. Okay, or we'll have the pronoun in, will have pronoun in nominative case. So these are the differences between conjunctions and prepositions. Okay, so this was all that we had to learn in this session. So uh, in the next session we will be discussing these conjunction, sorry, these cause denoting prepositions. Okay, so till now, that's all for today. Thanks to you.